Okay, today we are playing a game on the Horizon Lunar Colony. We are in the 2200 SR range, and we will be playing Zenyatta, Mercy, and a little bit of Winston at the very, very end of the game. And our current team composition is D.Va, Zarya, Genji, Pharah, Zenyatta, and Mercy. So, you know, it's a dive comp. It's one of the most standard comps you could possibly have in the current meta. I would personally rather have Zarya as Winston, but that's just personal preference more than anything else. So let's just start the game. We are attacking first on Horizon, which is very sad for all parties involved, because Horizon's a terrible place. It's very unique and interesting as a map, but I don't really mean that as a compliment. So we've all come up here onto the high ground, and we're going to all immediately jump off the high ground, because you can't really see anything from up here. At the same time, though, you do always want to come up here, because sometimes there's cheese up here that you just want to fight off. If they're over here, which they probably are, you can, like, trade blows back and forth. If they're down here, you can just kind of kill them if they're down there for some godforsaken reason. So even though you're probably going to jump off of this high ground immediately, you should just come up here anyway at the start, just in case, basically. So we're all jumping off now, and it's very nice that the defending team is not up here, because that's where they usually are. This Horizon, the first point, has a lot of high ground going on. And the scariest thing I find as the attacking team is that there's, like, a soldier and a McCree or a Reaper up here, and you have trouble, and, like, if you don't have, like, a proper dive comp, it can be hard to get them off, because your only options are the staircase over here, which is a fucking death trap, by the way. Try to avoid taking that way. You can go up the outside of the space station, which is the only time you might ever see the zero gravity area. Or you can just dive up there if you've got a dive comp. But that's usually, I find, the scariest thing, if there's people entrenched up there and you can't quite get them off. But the first point on Horizon is very, very easy to take, because this is, like, the best you get. There's no, like, choke points, really, to take advantage of. And it's a 2CP map, so the walk back to this checkpoint from the spawn for the defending team is agonizingly long. So it's still pretty fucking easy to take, even though, you know. So Genji's just died to Reaper, which is very depressing news, because Genji should not be dying to Reaper, but he has. We're currently being flanked by Tracer, and even though Zarya's over there, I don't know if she's, like, asleep at the wheel or something, because she didn't help and nobody else was nearby to help us, so we got killed by Tracer. Which is how you would expect it to go, Zenyatta versus Tracer. So Pharah also died to Reaper, by the way, which is also depressing. But she might have jumped up onto a catwalk and just found Reaper there. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt this one time. So we're coming back now. We're about to get flanked again by Tracer. At least we do have Pharah here to help us this time. Put the Harmony Orb on Pharah quicker than this, because she was low HP when she jumped up into the air immediately, so we want to put that on her a little bit faster. Now, neither of us are particularly good at killing Tracer, unless, as Zenyatta and Pharah, unless we get lucky. We didn't get lucky. We didn't kill her. Not exactly unsurprising. But this is how easy the first point is to take on Horizon. Look at that. The team's won 4v5 over here. Incredible. That's how easy it is to take the first checkpoint on Horizon. You don't even need 6 people. So, that's all done. We should still try and have our Harmony Orb on Pharah, because she wasn't full HP as we were coming over here. And we've had it on no one for a little while, which, I mean, you know, generally bad form. So we got the first checkpoint. Now we're moving on to the second checkpoint, which is, I find, still very easy to take as the attacking team. I don't think I've ever played a game on Horizon that didn't go 2 rounds, like full 4 rounds back to full. I'm phrasing this terribly in every way possible. We usually have to do, like, 2 rounds each on Horizon. I don't think I've ever seen a Horizon game get resolved in 1 round yet. No, I saw 1. I've seen 1. I lied to you. So I find it's very easy to take still, but it is still a 2CP map where the spawn is ridiculously close to the second point, so you do still kind of have to, like, grind it out where, you know, there's a Mei, there's a D.Va, there's a Tracer, there's a Winston, there's a Lucio, and they just keep coming back like fucking cockroaches. You know how 2CP is. God, it's as if 2CP maps weren't bad enough. Now we've got Horizon. So, here's Tracer again. We've beamed her in the skull, so she's had to use recall, but she's still coming. We get her in the end, but we do start walking into her again at the very end, which is not really what you want to be doing, because that's just making it easier for Tracer to hit you. Big floating box that Zenyatta is, after all. So, there's a scuffle going on in this room over here. Our Harmony Orb is not on anybody right now, by the way, and hasn't been for a little while. So that should be on somebody. Healing is still highest priority. If your Harmony Orb's on no one, it should be on someone. So I wouldn't have ulted right there, just because there's nothing to do with the ult. You basically use your ultimate there purely to save yourself from the Dragon Strike, which I don't really consider to be worth it, because we're right outside of our own spawn right now. I would just take the death, because you're not going to do anything with that Transcendence. And I don't think it's worth blowing Transcendence to avoid a 10 seconds respawn. So there is still a scuffle going on here. This is... I've never seen a scuffle break out in this particular area on this map, actually, so this is very unusual. Winston's coming in right now. He's coming into a Zenyatta and a Reaper, so he does in fact just get murdered by the Reaper and the Zenyatta, because he's not really allowed to do that, but he did it. So they have a Reaper as well, which is a little spooky, because we can get one shot by a Reaper pretty easily. But we can also get one shot by the Hanzo. So, you know, sometimes you get shot in the side of the skull by Hanzo, and you can't really see it coming. Like, we don't even see him. He just pops out from behind the, there's a word for that. The greenhouse. That's the one. That's the one. Just pops out from behind the greenhouse and shoots us in the skull. So, you know, feels bad, man. I mean, we could have been standing further back, but at the same time, sometimes you just get shot by Hanzo and you don't know it's coming. Here's Tracer again. This is continuing to be an issue for us, this Tracer situation. I would consider changing to Lucio at this point, or Ana, just because this Tracer is continually causing us trouble during this game. And Zenyatta is quite poor at dealing with Tracer, but Lucio and Ana are better at dealing with Tracer. Because, Lucio's just hard to kill as Tracer, and you might kill the Tracer anyway. Ana, like, if you hit the dart, you just kill her, but, like, she can't really kill you, because you just wait until she's on top of you, and then you just spike the grenade at your feet, and then suddenly she has to leave. Because, I mean, you know, the grenade is still a really good ability. So we're all down here right now, which is, not really where I want us to be, because I think that the reason Horizon's second point is so easy to take is the attacking team can kind of just walk onto this catwalk above us, because there's the big open area, which the defending team shouldn't be fighting you in, usually, because it's pretty terrible to fight in there. So you can kind of just, like, walk up here, and, like, yeah, there's going to be people up on the catwalk waiting for you, but it's not that hard to actually just get them off the catwalk, because it's not a very good place to stand. And then you're just on the high ground overlooking the point, which is generally really bad for the defending team. It reminds me a lot of Hanamura's second point, but it's way easier to get control of this catwalk than it is to take control of the balcony. And in both situations, if you get control of the catwalk or the balcony, you probably get control of the point, because, like, what's the fucking defending team gonna do about it, really, you know? But we're all fighting down here, so I'm not stoked about that. A bunch of our team are dead right now, so we should just be trying to get away. We are currently fighting Hanzo. We got the Hanzo. Awesome. Feels good, man. Here comes Tracer for round, like, 4, though. Oh, we pushed enter by accident. And got fucked, basically. We, wanted to try and get out, ideally, because most of our team was dead, but we got blown up by the bomb. Feels bad, man. So, we've almost got Transcendence built up again, which is pretty cool. We still got 4 minutes to go, so we're not feeling too stressed about it right now. I don't know if this was intentional. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Let me consult the email, because I remember something saying... No, okay, yeah, This was indeed accidental. Which, I mean, you can kind of tell, just by looking at it. Feels bad. So, you know... Both Transcendences so far, haven't been exactly super stoked about. I mean, you know. Diva's off saying she needs healing somewhere, so we should look over to see if we can see the Diva, because she is in critical HP, pinging for help. Get fucked, Tracer. Feels good, man. However, I don't think we would have been able to see her from there. Here's Reaper. It's a shame we don't still have that Transcendence. However, we do almost have another Transcendence built up again. Most of our team is currently dead anyway, so... probably would not have made too terribly much difference. We have managed to get 45% of the point built up, though, so that's something. Genji also used Dragon Blade, and it looks like it was basically 1v6, so that's not a very good use of company resources. Reaper is up to something right now. I think he's standing... Is he standing outside the door on our side? I think he must be. Here's their Reaper, which is pretty spooky. Like, they shouldn't be in this room, basically. There was elevator music playing in my head there, by the way. I don't know if you could tell. I just went off into my own world. So we're all going down this way again, which I'm not super stoked about for the same reasons that I've already covered. Also, like, their team is really bad to walk down this route into, because there's a Reaper and a Hanzo who can just throw his skill into this room and, like, kill people. That'd feel pretty bad. However... And Reaper, as well, could just do that. Oh, look, we died to Death Blossom and Scatter Arrow, even though we weren't in the room anymore. So, but we've been rezzed by Mercy, now we're fighting out here. Reaper is now spinning inside of our Graviton and has killed them. Oh god, that's going to feel really bad for D.Va. Here's Winston. We're on a 2CP map, so, you know. This is what happens on 2CP maps. All the stallers come out. Dragon Strike's happening again. Oh god, we're trying to fight off all these people. There's not really very much we can do about that situation except start backing up further. Like, we could try and back up the ramp through, like, the main door. Like, I want to say choke point, but it's not a choke point because the team is in no way forced to go through that. We could have gone backwards up the central ramp a little bit further and tried to fight from further away. But we probably still got fucked by D.Va and Tracer regardless, because they would have probably just come out there to kill us. So, I don't think there's much really you can do about that one differently, because I would have also used Transcendence in the exact same way. I might have even used it sooner. Skill just got thrown into the room and just narrowly missed us. Like, they should not be fighting us in this room. It is very hard for the defenders to fight in this room. So, we are indeed managing to just kill a lot of people, because they're standing in the wrong place. Again, we're on the low ground. Mercy's the only one up on the catwalk right now, and she's not exactly going to take huge advantage out of the high ground now. We have interrupted our reload a few times right there by switching our orbs around, which we want to avoid doing. And we've been wiped again because of D.Va's ult. D.Va's ult is actually pretty scary on Horizon because it is such a big open expanse of a point that unless you can get to, like, the girders in the room, you kind of get fucked. And even if you can get to the girders, you might still just get fucked anyway, honestly. So D.Va's ult is actually really scary on Horizon's second point. So they still should not be trying to fight us in this room. But they are indeed still trying to fight us in this room. It's just one of those things that's like, what do they get from killing you in this room? They kill you right outside of your own spawn. We're walking into so many bad things right now, by the way. Just keep walking into the people that we're firing at. We don't want to be doing that. Zenyatta, far away as possible. No damage fall off. As long as you can see people to put your Harmony Orb and Discord on people, you are inside your optimum range. So Reaper's doing that. That wasn't a very good use of company resources. D.Va... I almost said like 9 different names right there. Zarya has just thrown the longest Graviton I think I've ever seen right there. You could track its entire arc. I would have also used Transcendence right there as well. And we don't want to be... Well, we're moving into these people again. We could be standing way further back. We don't need to be standing on the point. There goes D.Va's ult. We've managed to avoid it this time. Mercy's dead, but she's already used her ultimate, so it's kind of like, you know, whatever. Neither of our orbs are up right now, so we should have been prioritizing putting those orbs up. We've just cancelled our reload a bunch of times again. Which you don't want to do. Again, because... I mean, I know it's really easy to do that when you're playing Zenyatta, where you're like, fuck, oh god, orbs, oh god, Like, let yourself reload, and then put them up, because you're just kind of like a sitting duck, otherwise. But also, don't let your orbs, both your orbs fall off. There was like a few second period in there where we had no orbs on anybody, which is not usually good for business. So we are now defending on Horizon. And as you can probably infer from the timeline, it doesn't go to another round. I also always try to do this. Like, I wish you could, like, actually, like, climb up on the walls here. But, like, you could, like, get a toehold on them. But at the same time, that would probably make this map even more terrible, because then you'd come in and there'd be, like, some Metro turrets on the fucking ceiling or some shit, and you'd be like, oh, Jesus Christ. Probably, there'd be a Torbjorn who would find a way. They'd find the perfect pixel to, like, build their turret on the edge of one of these, and that would be really upsetting just to see, you know? even if not terribly effective. So we're all down here. Orisa and Bastion is pretty cheesy for this map. We got this little looking hole that we can look out at and get fucked, my friend, right there. Yeah, we got a Junkrat. We don't want a Junkrat. A lot of high ground fighting in this point. Junkrat is not very good at that. So we're playing Mercy now, and we've got a Bastion and Orisa, so we're just going to sit here, and we're going to boost this Bastion as much as possible, and that's how we're planning to win this game. You know, that's generally how you play Mercy when there's a Bastion on your team. Or an Orisa. She's like a... She's a moving Bastion, you know. A lot of people are trying illegal maneuvers right now, where they're basically just trying to walk at the Bastion, which they're not allowed to do. This is quite annoying, and I've seen teams not be able to beat this. Though, tried to draw the pistol, immediately put it back away, just brandish your broom very scarily at her, like, oh, get off my lawn! So, I've seen teams get fucked by the Bastion on Horizon before with a similar, like this kind of setup before, or the Reinhardt as well. The way you beat this is you pick Junkrat and you pick Pharah, and you stand all the fuck way over here where a Bastion can't hit you, and you just bombard the fuck out of him. And then, like, you know, maybe you got, like, you got people coming around the sides to fuck with them. Then, if you're playing Pharah, you can just, like, whoop, and ult right above his head and kill him. And, like, anybody that's standing with him, probably, as well. So, the way you counter that strat, as always, is just pick people that are good at killing Bastion and barriers, and you'll kill the Bastion and the barriers. People are stubborn. People just don't want to, like, make these changes that would make things so simple. They, like, sit there getting wrecked by, like, Symmetra, Torbjorn, Bastion. And they continue just, like, playing, like, Tracer and Genji. Just, like, pick Pharah. Like, pick Junkrat if it's that bad. And just bomb the fuck out of them. And what are they gonna do about it? What are they gonna do about it? Nothing. They're gonna get fucked is what they do about it. But no, they just sit there and they keep playing the Tracer and they keep playing the Genji. The Genji goes through the doorway and he's immediately just fucking tied down like Gulliver's Travels by the lasers and he's just shot to death. Tracer tries to kill the Torbjorn, just get beams in the skull. Just pick Pharah. It's so simple. I think you can probably tell how I've lost a few of my games recently. It never gets better any higher you climb, by the way. It's as bad. It's that bad all the way up. All the way up. So anyway, you know, enough of that. So we solo res the Bastion, partly to res the Bastion and partly to save ourselves from the Tracer, which I think is entirely justified decision-wise, because if you didn't res him, you were probably just going to die and res nobody. So I would have also done the same thing from that position. And it's unfortunate that then Dragon Strike happened at the exact same time and killed a bunch of people. But I would have also done the same thing. In general, I adopt the policy of if you're gonna die, or you're pretty confident you're gonna die, you should just res somebody. Even if it's not exactly a very good res, because if it also saves you, you can say you resed yourself if you were going to die, so a solo res is technically a two-man res at that point. And if you, like, you don't want to be the Mercy that dies with her ultimate, right? Like, I think it's better to solo res somebody to save yourself, and then, you know, if you get fucked, you get fucked. I think that's better than resing nobody, because Resurrection does also charge very quickly. Since Reinhardt and Roadhog have become very bad, I've been playing a lot of Mercy, and I've adopted that, and I've gotten a lot of very spirited banter aimed at me for that reason, but I will stand by every single solo res I've made to save myself, because I'm a selfish man like that. So everything fell off the table right there. So we still have the same team comp. Again, we're not up on this catwalk, which we should be. Like, you know, you kind of get pushed off the catwalk, but you want to at least try and maintain control of the catwalk, because it is so terrible if the enemy team gets control of it. A bunch of people just died all around us. We don't have res right now, so that's very sad, and we're just trying as best we can, but so many people on our team are dead. All we can really do is just hang out with the Orisa, because there's nobody for us to juke to, because everybody's already dead. So we're pretty fucked. But we are now changing to Winston, because somebody else wanted to play Mercy. So we have gotten out here. Here's our Reaper running around. Ooh, look at this. Who's spookier? What a complete and pointless waste of time this whole arrangement is right here. Our Reaper, who's also fucking nano boosted, was like, yeah, Wraith form. This is a good use of our ultimate. Not our ultimate, fucking. If you could Wraith form while you were using Death Blossom, that'd be really spooky. Yeah, so they got fucked. Great. Good for us. Good for us. We got back out here. And, yeah, I think you can see roughly how this is gonna go. So we are up here now. We have a Reaper who can help us fight the Winston. We do indeed kill the Winston. There's the Hanzo. We're getting a little bit carried away. Oh, God, we don't want to come in this room. We don't want to ever really come into this room, because this room is death. As we've been saying this entire time, which is why I'm not going to go into it too much. But yeah, really easy to get fucked in that room. And there's just kind of no reason to be fighting in that room most of the time. There have been occasions, but you want to avoid that room as much as possible. So, like, a lot of people on our team are getting fucked in various corners of the map right now. And we were trying to kill the Tracer that was back here. However, that meant we weren't killing the Widowmaker. And then we got skilled right in the undercarriage, and it didn't feel very good. Like, here's the thing, you know. You look at what our team currently is versus their team. Like, let's look at that tab screen. And it's just like, yeah, you're probably gonna get fucked this round, because, like, this guy's gonna always be dead. This guy was indeed always dead, as we saw, because we got this, and this, right? And then we've got this guy is bad against all of those people as well, because Tracer can fight him from too far away, and snipers obviously are gonna fuck a guy with shotguns, generally speaking. And then it's like, McCree is not great. Like, he's okay against Reaper, and he's, like, not terrible against the Winston. But he's also going to be getting, like, pressured by all of these people. Like, there's no way, really, I see this working out. Your Anna's going to be getting fucked by these people, or these people, and this person. I look at the team, and I'm like, yeah, what we really need right now is, first off, a second tank. Like, we need another we need a D.Va. Really, right now. Like, our D.Va changed off. We need a D.Va right now because we've got two snipers, so we need to be able to deal with that. We've also got a Reaper, so we need to be able to deal with that. We need to deal with Winston, and yeah, we've got Reaper already, but, like, D.Va is also good against Winston. Like, we need a D.Va. Really? Like, D.Va would, drastically improve. Like, this guy, be D.Va. Stop being Bastion, because, like, you're gonna get fucked. This is the only guy that doesn't fuck you. But that's it. That's the only one. I mean, okay, I guess Mercy as well isn't gonna fuck you. But, like, this guy, You can't really play Bastion on Horizon, in my experience. Well, I think it's really hard to play, like, any of the defense heroes in the current meta. Like, any of them. Because, with the exception of maybe, like, Widowmaker and Hanzo, if you're really good at them. But I think it's impossible to play any of the defense heroes in the current meta, including Symmetra, because she's more of a defense hero than she is a support hero. It's just like... Hold on. You see this shit right here? Voez. My man. Is this why we lost? We didn't have a Sim? Was Sim gonna help with this situation right here? Toblerone's gonna help with this... Is this the linchpin? Explain to me how. How does Symmetra deal with this? How does Symmetra deal with the snipers? And the Winston? Maybe she deals with the Reaper? How does Torbjorn deal with the snipers? And the Winston? And the Tracer? You know? You know? My man, Voez. Aggressive defense is just like what you have, where it's like... Because the attacking team... Because here's like the problem, right? The attacking team is almost always a dive comp these days, And the thing is, all defense... This is the point I was getting to before I got so distracted by that. Is, all of the defense heroes are really bad against dive comps, because... I mean, dive comps just fuck defense hero. You just go in, you fuck them. Oh shit, all of my turrets, no, they're gone. Now what am I gonna do? I'm like a third of a hero now, because all of my turrets are gone. Like, they get fucked by them. But the thing is, right, here's the other issue, is because the attacking team is so aggressive, it forces you to also pick very aggressive heroes, because you have to be able to, like, fight them on any terms, basically, right? This is also an issue with, like, offense heroes compared to defense heroes, where, like, the official distinction between them is that offense heroes can fight people in a wide variety of situations, and defending heroes are about setting up a zone of control and then fighting people inside that zone. The thing is, why would you choose to pick somebody who can only fight in a certain zone when you can pick somebody who can fight in any zone, right? So this is always why offense heroes have just generally been better. When the game came out, there was this whole thing where it's like, oh, we've got to pick defense heroes because we're defending. And then, eventually, everyone realized, actually, why don't we just pick more attack heroes, right? Why don't we just pick offense heroes, because they can fight people in any situation. They don't need you to be in this zone, right? That you can very easily circumnavigate by just picking Lucio, right? Or pick Pharah and Winston and just, like, fuck the defense, right? So, defense heroes don't really work. But the thing is, as well, when the attacking team is so very aggressive, right? When you've got, like, a Pharah and a Tracer, a Winston and a D.Va coming at you, if you're picking, like, a relatively passive hero, just like even Soldier, right? You're gonna find it really difficult because you don't, like, they're constantly on you. You can't deal with the aggression. So you end up having to pick an aggressive defender, because if you don't, you're gonna get fucked because their team is too aggressive. Aggression begets more aggression, basically. There was this thing. This is like a bit of a weird parallel to draw, but when before the one hero limit came out, right, which was the absolute fucking dark ages, but the strat to go with on attack was, or King of the Hill, for that matter. You saw, if you go back and like watch like any pro game from like this period, you will see this, where the best team comp you could pick was Tracer, Genji, Tracer or Genji, 2 Zenyatas, because also Zenyatta was stronger at this period in time because his orbs didn't fall off out of line of sight. They were just always on you. So the strat was pick like Winston and Winston, or like Winston and Zarya, Tracer, Genji, 2 Zenyatas, and you would just go, and they would fucking dive, and they would never stop diving because the flankers have had a constant regen on them. And then you had 2 Transcendences, of course, which is very scary. So this is what you would do on attack. The thing is that is so aggressive that it forces you to pick the same comp as them. Because if you don't, they'll just run over you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, like, every game you saw in this period was a mirror matchup of that. And it was, because it was so aggressive, you had to pick aggressive heroes to fight it, or you'd just get rolled over. It's the same setup now, basically, to a lesser extreme, where the defenders are forced to pick things like D.Va and Winston, because if they pick Reinhardt or Zarya, they end up getting outmaneuvered, out-aggressed. They can't actually protect their teammates because they're being dove too relentlessly. So it just forces you to, like, fight, like, aggression with more aggression. And you just hope that your team is better at being aggressive, basically. So that was a very long tangent, but that's why defense heroes have always been bad, basically. And that's why currently the defense team is also basically always forced into picking, like, Winston and D.Va, even though conventional wisdom up until this season was Winston is pretty bad at defense unless you are trying to counter a Genji or a Tracer. But now it's like, well, I could pick Reinhardt instead of Winston and just get fucked, right? I could pick Zarya and just get fucked by, like, the Reaper and the Diva coming at me, you know, whatever. So, back to the topic, though. The only thing that really stands out to me in this game is we do a lot of walking into people while we're shooting at them, which we don't want to be doing as Zenyatta, because no fall-off damage. We want to be really far away from people. Other than that, it's like a lot of people dying and like not moving in like in awkward positions and not moving where we want them to move. But we can't control our team. We can't make them go and take control of the high ground if they don't want to. So, but that's the only thing that really stood out to me in this game. So that was a very long-winded tangent right there. But hopefully it was somewhat insightful as to why Season 5 is kind of fucked up. God, I hate Season 5 so much. But I would rather take this than Season 1 any day of the week. Because, God, Season 1 was so depressing. You come around the corner and you see, like, 4 Torbjorns. Or, like, 2 Bastions and 2 Torbjorns. And you're just like, it's not even that good, but I just know I'm not going to have fun for the next... Like, I'm going to have 0 fun for the next, like, 20 minutes of this game. And then you do, even if you win, you hated every second of it, because it's just not fun, is it? I'm so glad that Blizzard relented and put the hero limit in, because, God, that would be so fucking tragic. God, imagine if, like, you could have more than one Ana. Oh no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Two Anas, 2 Reapers? Oh, that would have been sick. Alright, so anyway, thank you very much for watching if you did. Enough rambling now. Thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful or insightful. Probably not very helpful, but maybe insightful. Maybe entertaining. I don't know. Maybe you got something out of it.